Alright, Shalom. It's the brothers from the GMS North Carolina came back with another video. Before we go any further, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the great millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible and rule well, and peace and blessings so for elect of the nation of Israel. Today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, me and the brothers are going to do a lesson. You know, I got the brother
Shamar.
Brother Nakam.
Yeah, the brothers with me, just after camp, brothers just got something to eat, and we know we're together, so we're going to do a lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai on fear, You can do the Romans 10th chapter. What we got, and whatever you got now is cool. But we're going to do a lesson on fear through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai.
This is this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7.
10, 12.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Okay.
And that's right. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, doing what they command you to do. You see, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible to the best of your ability. You see, that's the beginning of knowledge. You see, so if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans desire the beginning of knowledge and the understanding of these scriptures, it starts with first fearing Yahweh Shema Shai, doing what they command you to do. You see, because you're not going to get the beginning of knowledge and the understanding of scriptures without fearing Yahweh Shema Shai. So fear Yahweh Shema Shai so that you can get the beginning of knowledge and understanding of these scriptures.
Kind of what the Lord say, He loveth none but them that dwelleth with wisdom. That basically saying the Lord doesn't love anybody except those that follow His law, statutes, commandments. Sirach 19 and 18.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. And that's 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans. Y'all are fools. And when you look into that word fool, it means meatball, blockhead, imbecile, jackass, dunce. You see, the list goes on and on. You see, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, y'all are fools. Why? Because you despise, y'all hate wisdom and instructions. You see, y'all hate that y'all can't go about establishing your own way. You see, y'all hate that y'all can't be wise in your own eyes. And it's ultimately because what? You don't fear Yahweh Shema Shai. You see? So if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans desire the beginning of knowledge and understand these scriptures, fear Yahweh Shema Shai. Do what they command you to do, because that's wisdom.
And keep the commandments. Can you get the Sirach first?
All right. It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 18. The fear of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is the first step to be accepted of Him.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be accepted, be well pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shema Shai. First and foremost, you gotta fear Him. Yahweh Shema Shai desires that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans show Him reverence. Obedience. Go ahead.
And wisdom attaineth His love.
Yeah, and wisdom, you having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of scriptures. That's how you're gonna get the love of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's that simple, that's the first step. So before you could take any steps to get closer to the God of the Bible, first and foremost, you gotta fear Him. You got a precept?
Yeah, I got one more. I'll break this one down.
Come on.
This is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 27. The fear of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai prolongeth days. And that's right. So if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans want your days to be prolonged on the face of the earth, to where you're living that long and healthy life, to where you got gray hairs popping out your head, it starts with first fearing Yahweh Shema Shai. Again, keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible to the best of your ability, which is wisdom.
Come on. Real quick, I got a precept for you. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word.
Right, so the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans that fear Yahweh Shema Shai, that's doing what He commanded you to do, then what? You're not going to disobey His word. You're not going to go contrary to these scriptures if you really fear Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yeah, what does that do? That's gonna make it to where you're not gonna be in the penalty of having judgment coming upon you. To where your days are gonna be prolonged.
That's right.
He says, Sirach 2 and 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word, and they that love Him will keep His ways.
Right, and the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who truly love Yahweh Shema Shai, then guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna keep His ways. You see, because according to St. John 14:15, love it that you keep the commandments of the Most High. So if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, love Yahweh Shem Shah, keep his ways, keep his commandments. Because that's ultimately showing Yahweh Shem Shah that you fear them as well.
Yep, exactly.
So I'm going to go back and finish this out. This is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 27. The fear of Yahweh Shem Shah prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. And that's right. Yahweh Shem Shah is shortening the years of 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. That's why 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans are getting killed at a fast and rapidly speed by Yahweh Shem Shah. That's why he's taking y'all out. You see, so if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans don't want your years to be shortened on the face of the earth, and you want your days to be prolonged to live that long and healthy life, then what do you need to do? You need to fear Yahweh Shem Shah. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, which his name means he is or he exists, and Yahweh Shah, which is the only begotten Son, which his name means he delivers or he saves.
Yeah, ultimately the Lord's going to grant us that long life in the kingdom, because he's only going to come back to save those that are doing his will, and those who are doing his will, just like I tell you in the book of Hebrews by Noah, that he moved with fear,
Right. Got that Deuteronomy for you?
The brother got Deuteronomy. Get that Sirach. Get Deuteronomy 10 first, then hold that Sirach for later. We'll probably close out. Yeah, get Deuteronomy 10. We'll close out on that Sirach.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy power require of thee?
Yeah, so the Lord, this is a question. What does the Lord thy power require of thee? The Lord is about to tell you the requirements, the things that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, must do according to the Bible. Go ahead. These are requirements. Go ahead.
All right. It says, I'm going to start over.
Come.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
Yeah, but to fear the Lord thy God, what? Because we read earlier, fear is the first step to be accepted of him, the first step. There's many things that the Lord wants you to do, but fear is the first one. That's why it's the first one on the list,
And that's right. You so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you're supposed to fear Yahweh Shem Shah. You see the one and only living true power. You see the only power that's been here from the beginning, and the only power that's going to be here to the end. You see the only power that's making all these different plagues and calamities upon the face of the earth. You see, that's the true powers that you're supposed to be fearing. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. Yahweh Shem Shah.
Alright, a quick one real quick before you read that. This is Psalms 96:4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. Yeah, we go week in and week out. We're telling you that the God of the Bible, who you people only call God, Yahweh by Shema Shai, that they're about to bring death and destruction to America. Calamities are about to come. There's going to be race riots, famines. You're going to have these people committing cannibalism. All-time high, you're going to have these people breaking in each other's houses, spoiling their goods. These things are coming to America, and we telling you the only ones who are going to be protected are those who fear and trust and have faith in the names of Yahweh Shema Shai and him,
All right.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth Yahweh Elohim require of thee, but to fear Yahweh Elohim, to walk in all his ways.
That's right. So if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans truly fear Yahweh Shem Shah in truth and sincerity, then what are you going to do? It's going to lead up to you walking all his ways, keeping their commandments of the Bible to the best of your ability. You see, doing their will, being obedient. Read on.
To walk in all his ways and to love him.
Right. And if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans are walking in Yahweh Shem Shah's ways, keeping the law / commandments of the Bible, then ultimately that's going to show you Yahweh Shem Shah that you love them. Because what? Again, according to St. John 14:15, love it that you keep Yahweh Shah's commandments. You see, so if you walk in Yahweh Shem Shah's ways, then that's showing them that you love them because you're keeping their commandments. Read on.
And to serve Yahweh Elohim with all thy heart.
Coming from the Hebrew word allows means your mind.
And with all thy soul.
And with all thy soul. You see, that's what Yahweh Shem Shah requires of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. To fear them, to walk in all their ways, and to love them.
Can I get that Sirach 23? We'll close out on this. Unless you got any more
Yeah,
precepts.
one more that on Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Okay, yeah, we'll close out on that. Can I read that, bro?
All right. This is Sirach chapter 23, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, and they that remain shall know the Lord. I'm slacking. This is verse 27. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than to fear. Nothing better than the fear of the Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And they that remain, which is the brothers that make it into the chariots, that kind of throw sauce like it, bro. Read that from top again.
All right, verse 27. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord.
Kind of who is the ones that are gonna remain? The elect. When they make it into the chariots, they're gonna remain. They're gonna know through the Spirit that there was nothing better than to fear the Lord. They're not gonna receive that judgment. Yahweh Shema Shai, all those that don't fear the Lord ultimately hate him. You're rebelling against him, and the Lord is coming to take down his adversaries, his enemies, which is 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, like the brothers mentioned earlier, that can still continue in their wickedness. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. Worshiping all these false idols. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to judge our people for their wickedness, for their disobedience, for their lack of fear.
And that there is nothing sweeter than to heed unto the commandments of the Lord.
Yeah, they that remain is going to know that there's nothing better and nothing sweeter than to take heed and to fear the Lord, And when you look up that word take heed, it means to really listen to, to actually listen and to do what Yahweh Shema Shai commanded us. And what did he command us in Ecclesiastes? Is there any more than that?
That was it.
Come on, read Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Mm-hmm.
Fear the Most High and keep his commandments.
Yeah, and that's what the Lord requires of us to do, to fear him and to keep his commandments, keep the law, statutes, commandments in these last days to the best of your abilities, brothers. We are in Babylon. Don't be over righteous, but whatever you can do, wherever is lawful, do it. Keep the Sabbath to the best of your abilities. Don't shave your beard. Don't go to the barbershop. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke cigarettes. Eat these abominable foods.
No tattoos.
No tattoos. All these laws that are that you can keep. Keep them to the best of your abilities. Pray to the Lord if you feel tempted to eat some abominable foods, which brothers shouldn't. But just in general, pray to Yahweh Shema Shai that keeps His Spirit upon us in these last days.
It reads on. For this is the whole duty of man.
Yeah, so this is the purpose of life. This is why Yahweh Shema Shai established you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans down here on the earth to fear Him, and to keep His commandments. Because what? Yahweh Shema Shai's ways are perfect, so He knows the right way for us to live down here on the earth. Want to say anything?
Just where if you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans truly fear Yahweh Shema Shai, it's going to show. Because a man who really fears Yahweh Shema Shai in truth and sincerity, they're going to be doing Yahweh Shema Shai commands them to do.
That's right. Want to say anything, bro? Before we close out, Lord's willing, you brothers were edified through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Before we go any further, we'll give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible, and rule well, and peace and blessings to the elect of the nation visitors. Next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.